Welcome back, students. Today Sarah's going to talk to you a little bit about reed selection, and she's going to go through care and maintenance for both reeds and your vocals.
Alright, so in front of you I have a variety of different things. I have a bocal, and I have 2 cane reeds and a synthetic reed. I have my little A&W cup with water in it because our reeds need to be soaked. We'll talk about that in a second. And I have a couple of different cases and a pipe cleaner. And we'll talk about all of those in just a minute here. To start with, I want to talk about the cases that your reeds come in. My favorite one, you want to get a nice reed case, but the ones that, the way they're shipped, I like the ones that have like spongy stuff here. They really kind of cradle your reed and it helps take care of it. I do not recommend using the cylindrical tubes that they come in because these tend to be actually airtight sealed, and if you take a moist reed and put it in there, you can ruin it because they'll get moldy. So be really careful with what type of reed storage you use. But you have a variety of different cases. The bottom line is you need to take care of them and make sure that they're not in an environment that will produce mold. So I've, again, 2 cane reeds and I have a synthetic reed. I highly recommend the synthetic reeds if you're going to be a serious student, or if you're in a variety of different climates, especially humid climates. Reeds tend to not be friends in those locations. So this plastic reed right here, this is a very expensive one. The price tag values it over $100, but they play every time and they're very consistent. I haven't had any issues playing with this reed. It's been very good to me. But again, it is kind of pricey, but it will last longer than 10 of these reeds. So it's up to you on if you want to make that investment or not. I would recommend talking to your teacher. So I have 2 cane reeds, and what I'm going to do is, while I'm doing some of this other stuff, I'm actually going to soak my reed so I can demonstrate to you, I'm sure, in a few minutes in another video. But I want you to note that I put the whole reed in the water, and in a second I'm going to turn it upside down as well to make sure that the entire reed is getting wet. On a cane reed, the butt end right here is actually cane fibers. On an oboe reed, the other double reed member of the family, there's a couple others, but the oboe, this down here is cork, and you don't want to get this end of it wet, but on bassoon reeds you want to soak the entire reed. So let's talk about the bocal while this is soaking. So I'm going to turn that around. And when you soak reeds, you don't want to soak them for an extended period of time, but a minute or 2 is good. You want to get some moisture into the fibers of the cane. If it's been a while since it's been wet, you want to soak it a little bit longer. But I'm going to let it soak there just for a minute, and then I'll take it out and let the fibers absorb some of the water. So now this is my bocal. You want to make sure that you take care of the cork here. If it needs to be replaced, take care of that because it will actually affect the seal on the instrument. Once a month or so, I would say that you need to clean the inside of the bocal with a bocal brush. If you don't have one, they're pretty inexpensive. You can Google them, find it on Amazon. But run some soapy water through the bocal and then run your bocal brush through, and that will help take care of it. Always be careful that you remember when you're putting the instrument together, you hold it here, not here. If you bend this, put a crack in it, it's done. You want to be real careful with that. Now I'm going to take this reed out and let it soak for a second, just do its thing. And while we're doing that, let's talk about reed care and maintenance. You want to look, actually when selecting reeds, you want to look for reeds that on the inside of them, you want the blades here to make sure that they're touching, and they need to seal on the sides. So that's going to be something you look for. You also want the wires to be in the right spot. You want to see an even opening sealing on the bottom end of it as well. If you see something that looks odd, probably don't buy it. I would also recommend that make sure that you have quality reeds. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Quality reeds is going to be the most important thing. If you don't have a good reed, you won't be able to play very well. So either find somebody that can make them for you or find a reputable dealer. As far as maintenance with reeds, you want to try and dry them as much as you can. Get the moisture out of the inside of it, but you can put this end in your mouth and blow the water out before you put them away. And then every once in a while, if you play for a while, they'll get gunky buildup on the inside of it. So you can take just a regular pipe cleaner, and then you just feed that through a couple of times. I usually go straight up the middle, but then you can actually go a little bit to the side. Note that I'm not trying to split over on the side. I'm just kind of running through, not necessarily the exact middle of the reed. And that'll just kind of clean out the inside of it so that they don't get gross and disgusting on the inside of it. It'll help prolong the life of the reed. And if you have a synthetic reed, this is especially important because you'll definitely get things that will build up on the inside. So again, you just kind of want to run that through the inside of the reed. This acts as a swab. So there's care and maintenance of your reeds. And I encourage you to watch the next video where we will talk a little bit about embouchure.